Neso, selamat malam. Salam kenal, saya dengan Muhammad Maulana Taufik atau Molly yang merupakan Education Promotion Officer dari Nuffic Neso Indonesia. Sebelumnya saya ucapkan sekali lagi selamat datang kepada para attendees atau mungkin saya panggilnya Sobat Neso yang sudah mendaftar dan juga hadir di room webinar kami pada malam hari ini. But before I start the show atau start for this webinar, first of all, I would like to say hi to all of you, all of Sobat Neso in Indonesia, and also say hi to our presenters. So we have Hermina, and also we have our friend from Indonesia. She is the awardee of Orange Tulip Scholarship, Fadhilah Amin Fathoni. Hello. Okay, so saya akan menjelaskan dalam bahasa. So I'm going to speak in Indonesia first, and then I'm going to hand over to all of you in English. But before that, I don't want to have like a miscommunication between two of you. I'm going to present and to introduce Nuffic Neso Indonesia to all Indonesian students who already in our webinar room. Oke, kepada para Sobat Neso, mungkin ada yang sudah atau ada yang belum kenal dengan Nuffic Neso Indonesia. Kami adalah sebuah non-profit organization yang tersebar di 10 negara. Neso merupakan kepanjangan dari Netherlands Education atau Netherlands Education Support Office atau Neso, yang merupakan non-profit organization dibiayai oleh Dutch government atau pemerintah Belanda, tentunya untuk memberikan informasi general seputar studi di Belanda. Neso ini tidak hanya ada di Indonesia saja, tapi kita tersebar di 10 negara di dunia, yaitu seperti di South Africa, Korea, Turki, di Brazil, Rusia, dan ada di Vietnam, di Belanda juga sebagai kantor pusatnya juga ada, dan tentunya di negara-negara lain yang kalian bisa lihat di peta yang ada di slide presentasi ini. Tugas kami selain mempromosikan dan juga memberikan informasi general seputar studi di Belanda, kami juga melakukan kerjasama dengan higher education institution baik di Belanda maupun juga di Indonesia, mensupport Holland Alumni Network dengan berbagai macam kegiatan yang pastinya sangat bermanfaat bagi kamu nih yang sudah selesai studi di Belanda, serta memanage beberapa scholarship baik dari pemerintah maupun dari universitas di Belanda. Beasiswa tersebut diantaranya ada Stunet, Orange Knowledge Program, Orange Tulip Scholarship, dan juga EU Share. Semua beasiswa ini sedang dibuka dan kalian juga bisa meraih kesempatan untuk mendapatkan Orange Tulip Scholarship dari webinar ini karena kedua rekan presenter saya yang ada dari Maastricht School of Management ini akan menjelaskan tentang Orange Tulip Scholarship. Apabila ada pertanyaan seputar studi di Belanda, kami siap untuk melayani Anda tentunya di nomor-nomor berikut ini. Kami bisa dihubungi lewat telepon, di WhatsApp, email, melalui semua channel sosial media seperti Facebook, Twitter, dan juga di website kami www.nesoindonesia.org.id. Okay, without long overdue, so I would like to give this floor to all my lovely friends at Maastricht School of Management. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So let me introduce myself again. My name is Hermina, and I'm in charge of enrollment and career services at MSM. That means that my job is to make sure that when students get in contact with MSM for the first time, all the way through to when they're alumni, that they have a positive MSM experience. And today I'm very glad that Fadhilah is here with us because she can tell you a bit more about that experience. And I know often it's much better for students to hear it from other people, from other students. So today I'm going to go through the MSM information for you, and then Fadhilah will talk a bit about her experience as well. And I think that you get a nice mix of boring stuff from me, but important stuff, and then the more real life actual stories from her. Okay. So the first thing that I would just like to highlight that is important when you are looking at a business school, especially if you're thinking about coming to the Netherlands, is the fact that MSM has the NVO accreditation. So the NVO accreditation means that your degree will be valid and recognized by the Dutch government. But on top of that, we also have the Mba accreditation. And the Mba accreditation means that your degree will be recognized worldwide. So this is the first thing that is really important for you when you are looking at business schools. make sure that your degree has an Mba accreditation so that you know that it will be recognized worldwide. And if you're thinking of staying in the Netherlands specifically, then the NVO accreditation is an important accreditation to have. But I won't talk too much about that because once again, throughout this webinar and also afterwards, my colleague Julia is in the chat session and she is there to answer any questions you have. So you can send her a chat question or you can send her an email and she will gladly answer any questions you have after or during this webinar. So what is interesting to know as well about MSM is that we are the second oldest business school in the Netherlands. And we focus on management. So we really specialize in everything that is pure business and management education, which means we have an MBA and we have a Master in Management program that really specialize in that. As I've mentioned, we have the accreditation worldwide, both Europe, America, and then specifically for the Netherlands as well. And then our MBA is ranked extremely well. We're ranked second best in the Netherlands, 10th best in Western Europe. And we were quite happy with the fact that our Master in Management also reached the rankings last year. That's normal. It was a relatively new program and we had to wait 3 years for it to get onto the ranking. And so we were very excited and happy when we got added onto a good spot in the ranking for the Master in Management. Now, something that's also interesting to know about MSM is that we are in the Netherlands, but we are in the south of the Netherlands. And so we are, when you zoom out, you actually can see we're in the heart of Europe, also actually in the heart, in the middle of, if you look at the world like that, it's quite in the middle. But we're about 2 hours away from Amsterdam, from Rotterdam. We're about an hour away from Brussels, an hour away from Cologne, 2 hours away from Frankfurt. I'm sure you've done some traveling already.
It's so close.
Exactly. So students really use that opportunity to travel and really explore Europe when they are at MSM. Another thing that's quite interesting to know, and this is the fun fact for the day, so if you want to go home and tell your family you've learned something, it's that the European Union was actually created in Maastricht because of its location as being this heart of Europe. So symbolically, it was also recognized by Europe, and that's why they signed the European Union Treaty there to create it. So that's just fun fact for the day. Right, a little bit more about our programs. We have, like I said, a full-time MBA. We have an online MBA. We also have a part-time executive MBA. But generally speaking, that's a bit more complicated because that would mean you'd have to fly into MSM 4 times a year. And I know with Indonesia, with the time and the jet lag and all of that, it's not that easy to do. And then we have a full-time Master in Management. So in our full-time MBA, we've got between 30 and 35 students coming from about 20 nationalities. And in the Master in Management this year, we were even a little bit higher. We were 38 students coming from between 12 and 15 nationalities as well. And so the students come from all over the world. It's not just European-based, it's literally people coming from all 4 corners of the world. And that's what makes it a truly international program, very unique, very challenging, managing all these different cultures, but it's also what you're going to learn a lot from, is all these different ways of doing things. So if you look at the Netherlands here, this is the map, if you see it on the one side there, and you look right at the bottom, in between Belgium and Germany, you see Maastricht. And so that's where we are. We're that little appendix at the bottom of the Netherlands sticking out. And so we're 10 minutes away from Belgium and 20 minutes away from Germany, which once again makes it for a very international location in Maastricht. You have a lot of local Dutch people, but at the same time, people coming from Belgium and Germany. In fact, I live in Belgium and I travel to Netherlands every day, and it takes me 10 minutes. So it's a very unique location to be in. It's also a very beautiful location. We were just talking about it beforehand. It's less crowded. It's sunnier. That's not saying much about the Netherlands, but it's a more sunny, warmer environment at the northern part of the Netherlands. And it's a very, very beautiful, calm area to study in. The Netherlands itself, not sure if anyone has had the opportunity to go to the Netherlands, but if you have been in the Netherlands, you'll be, or if you haven't, you'll be very surprised or reassured to know that the Dutch people are fluent in English. It's very easy to communicate with the locals, and it also makes job searching easier. I don't know if that's something you also experienced when you...
yeah, it's not so hard for me to speak with people.
Yeah, everyone speaks Dutch, English. So it really is something that when you arrive here and you're worried about, can I communicate with other people? Can I ask for directions if I go to the shops and I need to buy something? You know, you can just talk in English, and people will be able to help you. Also, the Netherlands has an excellent education system. It's one of the 5 best in the world. And that's also very reassuring to know, because value for money is probably the best education system in the world. If you compare with the UK and Australia, that are often in those top countries as well, then the Netherlands is by far the most reasonable price-wise. The Dutch people are also famous for being open-minded and tolerant and friendly. So it's also a country where you will feel at home very quickly. And then finally, the Dutch people are also looking for, they're always interested in other cultures. And because of this, they've created what they call an orientation year permit. This orientation year permit will allow you to stay in the Netherlands for 1 year after your studies. Okay, so after your studies, they won't kick you out immediately. You have that year to look for a job. And that's also very assuring for students to know. Now, talking a little bit more about MSM specifically, what I'd like to explain is that we're a little bit different to other schools. One of the things that makes us different is that right now we are still an independent business school, which means that right now we are not linked to any universities. That does mean that we've got a lot of freedom to focus on the market, and that we have the flexibility to adapt to these needs, because the market is always changing. We do work very closely with the University of Maastricht, and this relationship with the University of Maastricht will definitely get even closer. And so it's also good to know that we have this, students have access to all the university services like the gym and some of the events that they do as well. But at the same time, students will benefit from the small business school experience where we treat each person individually. We know each student's name, rather than you just being a number that arrives and then gets graduated and leave, and then you never hear from us again. So that's really important for us, this personal contact. We like to call it the MSM family. So it's when students leave and they become alumni, we still stay in contact with them. And we actually travel around the world to have alumni events and meet up with the students. And so that's something that's quite unique about MSM. Now, talking very briefly about the brochure and the program, like I mentioned, we have 2 main programs, the Master in Management, that's a full-time 1-year program here at MSM, and the 1-year full-time MBA. Now, the Master in Management is the program that Fadhilah is doing at the moment, and it's a program that's created specifically for people with a limited amount of working experience. So generally, people that have 0, that have just finished a bachelor or master degree and they've never worked, up to about maximum 3 years. Now, there's sometimes a gray line where we can make some small exceptions, but generally it's between 0 and 3 years of working experience. And the program has been set up in such a way that you get the core knowledge that you would need in management skills. So you'll learn everything about finance, economics, accounting, but you're also going to learn about HR, about human resources. You're going to learn about data analytics. You're going to learn about entrepreneurship, and you're going to learn about marketing and supply chain. So you're going to get all the courses you need to really understand the business better. And then on top of that, you're going to get a few applied courses, and that includes a personal development program where throughout the year you're going to work on your soft skills, so your strengths, and you're going to develop that. But you're also going to get a supply chain project where it's a simulation game, so you're going to get some a simulated real experience. And then students also work on a group consulting project for a company on a sustainable issue. And this year they actually did a double project, because they first did a consulting project for MSM specifically, and then they applied that same experience to a company. And I'm sure you can always tell them more about that as well. Then the MBA itself, I've mentioned, has 3 different formats. So we've got the full-time MBA, but we also have the executive MBA and the online MBA. Now, the full-time MBA is probably the one that most people here, if they're considering an MBA, would be interested in. But once again, if you do have questions about the online MBA, please don't hesitate to contact us, because it's an excellent program, but obviously it's online. The full-time MBA, you come to MSM and you do the 1-year program. And in the 1 year, it's extremely intense. Also, like with the Master in Management, you'll get a plethora of courses which will cover the business, that you really get a good idea of what business is. But after that, you will also get a specialization phase. So the MBA students will get something extra called specialization, where they will also get more knowledge in a specific area. And I'll talk about that briefly in the next slide. But on top of that, the MBA students also get an innovation week, where they will get a certificate in agile planning and service design thinking. Both the full-time MBA and the Master in Management students also get career and personal development track as an option for them. And we do a lot of social activities with the students. So tomorrow we're actually doing a movie night again with the students in honor of International Women's Day that's taking place on Sunday. We also have Pecha Kucha, which is a presentation form. We're going to be doing a debate night one of these days. We've done 2 student competitions with the students. We have had several, the international dinner, yes, and carnival. Yeah. So yes, the Dutch tasting as well. So students get a lot of moments where you work hard, but you also play hard. That's sort of the way we do things here. That's a little bit in a nutshell the program itself. Now, one thing I do want to also mention about the MBA specifically is that if you do want to do a full-time MBA, but if you do find a job during your year at MSM, then you could potentially switch to the executive MBA or the online MBA. So you can continue doing your MBA because the curriculum is the same. The other thing that's important with the MBA is that the students need to have a minimum of 3 years working experience. So that's why normally for the Master in Management, you go up to 3 years maximum work experience, and for the MBA, it's from 3 years on. Okay. So I mentioned the specializations for the MBA. These are the specialization options. So entrepreneurship, accounting and finance, the digital economy, international business and sustainable development, and supply chain. And then we also have 3 very specific specializations if you're already in that industry. But say now you are interested in entrepreneurship, then for entrepreneurship, you would have 4 extra courses going into entrepreneurship. So you would then specialize by doing 4 additional entrepreneurship related courses. Okay. So once again, if you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to contact either myself or Julia. Then I mentioned briefly about the career and personal development track. This is where we focus on helping you get ready for the Dutch and the European Dutch job market. We know that if you come to the Netherlands for a year, often it's with the idea of the possibility of staying for a few years to get some working experience. And to be able to help you with this, we provide you with some tools to prepare you for this job market. So we give you CV writing training, motivation letter training, negotiation skills training. We do interview techniques training with you, some elevator pitch trainings. We create a CV book, which we also send out to companies. And we also have a corporate week at the end of the year where we invite companies to come talk to our students and tell them about how to proceed in the job market and how to stand out. So we try and expose our students to all the tools and tips and tricks that they can use when looking for a job after their studies. was to do a career planning session so students can also start thinking about not just 1 year, but 5 years afterwards. Now, money-wise, obviously that's very important, and that's also why you're here today, to know a bit more about the program. The MBA for 2020, so that means starting end of September this year, is 32,500 euros. The Master in Management this year will be 16,000 euros, okay? That's a lot of money. But once again, like I mentioned in the beginning, value for money, if you compare it to a lot of other countries, the Netherlands is quite reasonable when it comes to the prices, and value for money, I don't think there are many programs that have a better price ratio than MSM. Talking about that, because like I said, it is a lot of money, the good news is we do have scholarships. Now, we have a Dean's Development Fund, which means that automatically, depending where you come from, you will get an MSM scholarship, a discount. And so once again, like I said, it depends on where you come from. And per country, you can find it on our website. It calculates immediately for you what your scholarship will be. But I know, for example, for the MBA students, that would mean that you get a discount of 13,000 euros, which would bring your tuition fee down to 19,500 euros. And for the Master in Management students, you get a 5,500 euro discount, which brings your tuition fee down automatically, just for being Indonesian, to 10,500 euros. There are other scholarships that are available, but for those who need to apply and you need to, you have to be eligible. The only other one that is worth noting is the early bird discount, and the early bird discount's deadline is 1st of May. So if you do want an additional scholarship by applying on time and early, you would be able to get an extra 3,500 euros discount. That being said, all scholarships can be combined, but to a maximum of 50%. The only time we go over this 50% is one exception, is the Orange Tulip Scholarship. And that's where we're very happy that we're working together with Nuffic Neso to promote this Orange Tulip Scholarship. So the Orange Tulip Scholarship, for the Master in Management, there are 2 scholarships of 60% for Indonesian students. And those 2 scholarships, each person would then get a tuition fee reduction, bringing the tuition fee down to 6,400 euros net. For the MBA, there's 1 scholarship of 80% and 1 scholarship of 60%. And so the MBA, the scholarship of 80% would bring you down to 6,500 euros net, and the one of 16,000 would bring you down to 60% would bring you down to 13,000 euros. Okay. What do you need to do to get the scholarship? Obviously, because there are only because there's only 2 per program, there are a few things that are important for us, and so the criteria are here. So the deadline is end of March. So 1st of April it closes. It takes a while to process everything, and then by mid-May at the latest, the OTS awardees are announced. To be able to be considered for the Orange Tulip Scholarship, you need to be admitted into MSM. So this is important because we are now today 4th of March. Knowing that you've got just over 3 weeks to apply, you also need to know that the application takes about 2 to 3 weeks. So if you are interested for the scholarship, this is something where you would have to apply very soon. So like this week, okay? That's why we're also doing this presentation still today, because hopefully there will be still 1 or 2 people that are interested. Now, to be considered, like I said, you need to be admitted. In the admissions process, you will choose the fact that you're applying for the scholarship, and then you will get a drop-down button asking you to confirm that you have the budget available to come do the studies at the Netherlands. The reason why we ask that is because in the past, we have offered the OTS scholarship to people who then in the end couldn't come because of budgets. And like I said, I totally understand. It's a lot of money. But it is a pity because then it blocked that scholarship to someone that could have afforded to come. So when you do apply for this, please make sure that you have considered the budget restrictions and the possibilities for you. And then finally, we just ask you to upload a 1-minute video about yourself while you're applying to MSM. And my challenge to you is to make this as creative or interesting as possible, because obviously you need to understand that's going to help you stand out from the rest. So that's up to you. We haven't put on any guidelines for that, in what we need, except we want you to tell us about yourself and why you want to come to MSM. So I hope that's clear. Once again, so I just see the question here about the proof of the budget availability. This year, we've really kept it simple. It's literally just a tick. So we're not asking any proof yet. That you need to send later when we start applying for your visa if you're admitted into the program. It's nothing official, so you could lie to us. It's really based on trust. It's just we want to make sure that you take that extra step to confirm that you have thought about this and that if you do get the scholarship that you think that you'd be able to come, okay? So it's nothing official in the sense that we're asking for bank statements, but we really want you to think about it and make sure that you're not taking up someone else's opportunity to get the scholarship. Okay, I hope that answers that question. So how do you apply to MSM? The first thing is you need to go onto the online account at campus.msm.nl. So that's the page that you go onto to apply. Now, when you go on there, you'll see it's pretty easy. You need to fill in all your details, and then you upload a few documents. So it includes a translated bachelor degree and your transcript, proof of English. So the IELTS and the TOEFL scores need to be submitted, and often the IELTS is, I think, 6.5 minimum, and TOEFL is 88. But all of that is also specified on our website. And once again, if you have any questions, just contact Julia and she can help you with that. You need to upload your ID or passport. You need to upload, for an MBA, 2 professional recommendation letters. And for the Master in Management, it is 1. And it can be professional or academic. And when I say upload, it's actually quite an easy system because it's a template you fill in. So you fill in the contact details of your referee, your reference, it gets sent to them by email, they fill in the template, and then they submit it back online. So you don't need to print out and scan and sign and put it back in again. It's all done online by template. A personalized motivation letter. Now, I really need to highlight this motivation letter. It's extremely important because this is also going to make a big difference in the awarding of the OTS scholarship as well, and in being admitted into MSM. We do not want people that write one letter to 10 different schools, okay? We've set some guidelines, and that's also available on our admissions process on our website. And you can download these guidelines, and then you know exactly what you need to write in that admissions letter. And then finally, once you have gone through all of that and you've uploaded all of that, you either need to do a GMAT, where you need to get a score of 600 or higher, or a GRE, which would get an equivalent score, or you need to complete MSM's for online leveling courses. So there are 4 courses that can be an alternative to do the GMAT, and it's online courses that you do before the start of the program, okay? So regarding the score of the IELTS on our website, Julia will send the link via the chat. Once you've applied, once you've submitted or uploaded all of this, you pay a €95 application fee, and then our admissions will review your application. And if they're happy with that, everything is in order, you'll be invited for a Skype interview. Okay? So I've already mentioned the work experience, but I just want to re-highlight that to be clear that people understand the difference between the Master in Management and the MBA. If you've got less than 3 years experience, then the Master in Management is the only option for you. If you've got more than 3 experience, then the MBA is the only option for you. Okay? Right. Then from my side, the boring stuff is done. And I'm going to let Fadhilah come and tell you a bit more about her experience.
Okay. So yeah, I will be talking in Bahasa to make it more clear. First, I'm going to talk about the study environment in MSM. Nah, jadi gimana sih lingkungan belajar di MSM itu? Nah, menurut aku sendiri yang pertama itu tuh komprehensif ya. Dalam artian kalau kita belajar di MSM tuh kita dapat banyak info dari lecture-nya, karena lecture-nya tuh emang knowledgeable kan di bidangnya, terus mereka kayak ngasih banyak insight-insight yang dari hasil experience dia atau kayak research mereka kayak gitu-gitu. Nah, terus yang kedua, di sini tuh belajarnya challenging, kayak yang Hermina bilang, karena semuanya tuh kuliahnya padat, kita tuh harus pinter-pinter time management, gimana caranya kita bagi waktu antara ngerjain tugas, terus juga bikin paper, terus juga sambil nyerap semua ilmu-ilmunya kayak gitu. Nah, yang ketiga, kita juga tuh harus promote active learning. In a way, kita tuh harus juga untuk menyerap semua ilmu-ilmunya, tahu summarize apa aja yang kita pelajarin. Nah, cuman gak usah khawatir, karena di MSM ini kan kuliahnya itu seminggu kuliah, seminggu libur. Jadi selama libur itu kalian bisa kayak reflect tentang apa yang kalian pelajarin selama seminggu sebelumnya. Dan itu juga ada waktunya sendiri dan kalian juga akan reflect sendiri lewat paper yang akan kalian tulis nanti. Nah, terus apa sih benefitnya jadi student di MSM? Menurut aku yang pertama benefitnya udah jelas international exposure, karena di MSM sendiri tuh internasional banget ya, banyak mahasiswa-mahasiswa dari Brazil, terus Jerman, Belgia, India, benar-benar dari berbagai macam country. Nah, terus juga yang kedua itu personal development. Nah, di sini tuh jadi mereka nggak cuma fokus buat akademiknya, tapi kalau misalnya kita punya masalah pribadi nih, atau kita kayak ada stres, ada apa, mereka tuh semacam nyediain kayak psikolog gitu buat bantu kita. Jadi kita bisa discuss apa aja sama mereka, bisa cerita, bisa curhat kayak gitu. Jadi kalau kita, don't worry lah kalau kita at some point stres atau galau atau bingung, mereka pasti bakal bantu. Nah, yang ketiga itu expert lecture in the field. Jadi menurut aku semua dosen-dosen di sini tuh expert banget, dan mereka tuh benar-benar berpengalaman, banyak pengalamannya di bidangnya masing-masing. Dan lebihnya lagi, mereka tuh open banget kalau misalnya kita mau nanya sesuatu ke mereka. Misalnya kayak di luar kelas aku mau nanya tentang bisnis atau apa, boleh banget kita set appointment sama mereka di office room mereka, dan mereka bakal ngejelasin banyak ke kita gitu. Selanjutnya adalah soft skill. Jadi di MSM itu kita benar-benar belajar banyak soft skill ya, dari mulai time management, terus kita juga work in team, terus networking, problem solving, terus juga belajar delivering ideas, presentation, dan lain-lain. Nah, terus juga menurut aku tuh di sini balance gitu, theoretical dan practical learning-nya. Dalam artian di MSM tuh selalu dalam satu minggu kita tuh either have company visit atau guest lecture. Jadi selama belajar teori, kita juga tahu gimana sih implication-nya in the real life gitu. Jadi lebih kebayang gitu tentang materi-materinya. Yang terakhir tuh career services, yang semuanya diurusin oleh Hermina. Nah, di career services ini tuh jadi kita benar-benar kayak yang udah Hermina bilang tadi, disiapin buat misalnya kalau kita mau kerja, kita mau interview, terus dan lain-lainnya, itu tuh dikasih tips and trick yang benar-benar ngaruh di Dutch market itu kayak gimana, lewat bantuan kelas-kelas di Hermina. Jadi ini juga salah satu benefit jadi MSM student menurut aku. Nah, terus aku sekarang mau bahas hal-hal general facts tentang kayak gimana sih tinggal di Belanda, studi di Belanda. Yang pertama itu housing. Jadi banyak banget pelajar yang kayak kebingungan buat housing ini. Nah, saran aku buat housing, kita tuh harus aktif banget dari awal. Kalau misalnya kalian udah dapet LOA, jangan nunda-nunda, langsung cari housing, karena di Maastricht itu nih beneran pusatnya international students, jadi housing itu bener-bener rebutan dari manapun. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya kalian 3 bulan sebelum itu tuh udah consider telat buat nyari-nyari dan bakal kesusahan, makanya kalian harus aktif dari awal. Nah udah kayak gitu, buat caranya yang pertama kalian bisa lihat list-list website yang semacam kayak Airbnb-nya buat nyari housing. Nah itu tuh nanti bakal dikasih tahu sama MSM pas kalian dapat LOA, kalian juga bakal dikasih tahu list of websites yang dimana kalian bisa nyari housing ini. Nah yang kedua, saran aku yaitu kontak PPI Maastricht. Ya, PPI Maastricht itu adalah perkumpulan pelajar Indonesia di Maastricht. Nah kalau kalian mau kontak bisa di Instagramnya di PPI_Maastricht, dan itu tuh kita bakal bantuin kalian buat cari housing, karena personally aku juga pakai cara ini waktu mau mencari housing. Jadi kita bisa approach mereka terus minta saran kayak ada senior atau siapa sih yang tinggal di MSM atau di kampus yang lain, nanti kita bisa di refer buat take over rumah mereka setelah mereka lulus kayak gitu. Nah selanjutnya events. Jadi di MSM itu banyak banget events, mulai dari kayak company visit, international dinner, terus Dutch testing, pica kuca, dan lain-lain. Jadi kita tuh benar-benar di sini belajar build our network dan juga make a lot of friends. Nah, terus buat kalian yang pengen ke Eropa untuk jalan-jalan, nah, sambil kuliah tentunya, itu tuh bisa banget di sini karena kita tuh selalu ada free time. Maksudnya kalau kita pintar-pintar bagi waktu, pasti ada waktu untuk liburan gitu. Jadi nggak usah takut walaupun kuliahnya padat, tetap ada waktu untuk liburan. Dan juga misalnya kalian bisa pintar-pintar bagi waktu. Kalau kalian punya liburan kayak 3 hari kosong, 4 hari kosong tuh kalian bisa tinggal jalan-jalan kayak ke Jerman atau ke Belgia, karena emang deket banget ke situ tuh, jaraknya yang kata Hermina tadi bilang 20 minutes sampai paling lama sejam gitu kalau mau ke kota-kota besarnya. Gitu. Nah terus ini general fact, hal yang aku suka di Belanda itu tanpa sengaja aku tuh jadi lebih sehat gitu gaya hidupnya. Kenapa? Karena yang pertama naik sepeda. Di sini tuh semua orang naik sepeda, bener-bener kemana-mana naik sepeda. Malah ada faktanya tuh jumlah orang tuh lebih sedikit dibandingkan jumlah sepeda. Jadi in a way that satu orang bisa punya 2 sepeda kayak gitu. Dan emang bener-bener jalannya tuh aman banget buat naik sepeda. Ada jalur sendiri buat sepeda di mana-mana. Nah itu yang membuat aku juga ngerasa jadi lebih sehat gitu positifnya. Nah yang kedua, makanan itu juga pilihannya banyak banget yang sehat-sehat kayak snack gitu, banyak banget yang sehat. Terus kayak kentang atau apa yang kalau di Indonesia tuh di deep fry, di sini itu kita bisa selalu pakai oven kayak gitu-gitu, jadi lebih sehat juga. Nah terus micinnya juga tuh di sini jarang banget, semua makanan-makanan tuh sangat nggak ada, hampir nggak ada gitu micinnya. Yang ketiga juga aku ngerasa jadi lifestyle-nya tuh lebih sehat karena di encourage buat masak. Jadi di sini tuh penting banget buat mau masak, gak harus jago, yang penting mau, karena itu bisa nge-save budget banget dan become more healthier. Karena bayangannya gini, kalau misalnya kita masak itu biaya grocery selama the whole week itu sekitar 20 euro. Nah sedangkan kalau misalnya kita beli makanan yang udah jadi itu rata-rata per satu servingnya itu 5 euro, which is quite a different price, right? Jadi ngebantu banget kalau kita bisa masak dan ngelakuin itu. Gitu. Itu fakta-fakta tentang Belanda sih dari aku. Kalau kalian mau tanya-tanya bisa di Instagram aku @fadhilah_ab.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't understand all of it, but the pictures helped, and every now and then I'm like, I know what she's talking about.
You can trust me.
that being said, are there any questions that anyone still has to ask? Maybe I can just go through and see. I saw Julia's been quite active. So I saw she answered the question about the Dean's Development Fund again. So like I mentioned, the Dean's Development Fund is automatic. So that's an automatic discount we give students that are coming from emerging markets. And Indonesia is one of them. And for Indonesia, you get the maximum automatic discount for that. Then regarding the application process, someone asked about that, how quickly it goes. This is something that really actually depends on you, because our admissions office are extremely efficient. They work very well. Nikki and Steph are amazing. You'll feel really supported by them. They guide you through the whole process. And Julia and Inka, the recruiters, will help you if you've got any questions. But if you take too long to write your motivation letter, that's nothing we can do about. So it really depends on how quickly you upload all the documents. So you've got, if you have everything ready, say now you've got your translated transcripts, you've got your IELTS or your TOEFL score. Since you don't need to worry about the GMAT because we have the alternative, and the GMAT you can also do later. It's not part of that first phase for the OTS. And if you can make a video quickly, you know, if you've got all of those things ready, and the motivation letter, say now you start tonight immediately after this webinar because you're so inspired, then you could technically upload everything by today or tomorrow, and then our admissions office will review it in the next 2-3 days. And if everything is clear and everything is solid and all the references are replied and they are all checked out, because our admissions will check everything out, then it could go as quick as with it. And if we then invite you for an interview and you reply and you're immediately available and we set up that interview the next day, within a week you could be admitted, technically speaking. The reality is we know it will take time for you to collect these documents. We know it will take time for the references to reply. We know that sometimes you need a few days to think about that motivation letter. But it's all depends on you on that side. But once our admissions office has everything correctly in the system, and if you react quickly to the interview invitation, and we set up a date quickly with you, then it, from our side, things can go very quickly. Okay. So let me see. There are a few other questions. Let me see here. So the GMAT score, yes, I mentioned. Okay, let me explain a little bit more about the GMAT, because that is something I went over a bit quickly, and I'll go back to the page just to help clarify that. But basically, we've divided the application into 3 phases. Phase 1, you upload your documents. And if you've already done a GMAT and your score is 600 or higher, you can upload it in this part as well, and then you're covered. You don't need to worry about it anymore. If you have not yet done the GMAT or the GRE, you do not need this for phase 1, okay? So you can be conditionally admitted into MSM if everything else is good, and if we're happy with you as a person and for your application, you can be admitted conditionally without a GMAT or the GRE. We will then move on to phase 2, and still without the GMAT or the GRE, you can be invited for an interview. If in the interview everything goes well and we're happy with you and you're happy with MSM, what we will then do is we will send you an admissions letter, a conditional admissions letter. That means with that admissions letter, you can apply for the Orange Tulip Scholarship. That admissions letter will have the condition that before the start of the semester, once you have paid your first installment, so you have confirmed your participation in the program, you have from then till the start of the program to either get the GMAT score of 600 or higher, or their equivalent GRE, or to complete our online leveling courses. And we will send you the link to those online leveling courses once we've received your first installment. So I repeat again, the GMAT and the GRE or the leveling courses is something that you can complete after you've been conditionally admitted into MSM, but it needs to be done before the start of the program. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Let me see what else, because I've seen Julia's been very busy here as well. I think that's all. Okay, I saw there was a question also about the international business and sustainable development specialization. Once again, there are, like I mentioned, there are several specializations. That is one of them. In that specialization, you will get 4 additional courses. One is on innovation, one is on HR, one is on sustainability in general, and the other one is on value chain, sustainable value chains, I think. But there's also a specialization in digital economy, which you will have then 4 specific courses in digital economy. Now, there is a brochure that we've created specifically giving more details about this specialization. And I think Julia mentioned sent the link there. So if you want to know more about the actual content of the full courses you would get for that specialization, you can check out the brochure and you'll see much more detail about that. Okay. Are there any other questions that I've missed? Or does anyone have any other questions? I think I don't see anything else in my chat. So I'll just see if someone still, I see here Jessica is writing. And then I'll go back to the page about the Orange Tulip Scholarship just to make sure that that's all clear. Oh, thesis, yes, the question. Very important. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them about your thesis?
Yeah, so for the thesis, we have to make one before we graduate. So we have the whole year to prepare for it, but don't worry, MSM keep track of it. So in February last month, I just finished my first 3 chapters, and we have to do defense for that. So yeah, they give us time to finish the thesis during this whole year.
Yeah. And then a slight difference also between the Master in Management thesis and the MBA thesis is that the Master in Management thesis is an academic thesis, which is allowed to be linked to a practical problem, so it can be connected to a real-life problem, while the MBA thesis is more specifically divided into 3 options. It's either a consulting project, where you work for a company on a real-life issue as an external consultant, or it can be a business plan. So this is something that's really unique to MSM, is that you can do a business plan for your final thesis if you are an entrepreneur or want to become an entrepreneur, or you can do the typical academic research. So for the full-time MBA students, they have slightly more choices. Over the Master in Management, it still focuses on the academic research paper, but that can be connected to a real-life situation. Okay, I don't see anyone typing anymore. Someone is typing. Someone just Dana, right? Dana stopped. Okay. We'll wait a few more seconds to see if she's got any questions. So I hope I've covered all the main things. I do see there were 1 or 2 more questions about the prices. So while we wait, I'll go over that again. Okay, so the question from Dana was about whether it's possible to choose a different major from our latest education. There, I'd like to just clarify, this is a general Master in Management program and a general MBA program. The Master in Management program does not have any electives. So, and you'll see our curriculum in our program, in our, on the website. Let me see if I can actually send you the link for that quickly, for the Master in Management and for the MBA. So for the MBA, you'll see the curriculum. I'll just connect the link here. So there with the MBA, you can specialize a little bit because obviously you have the specialization, and that's how you go a little bit different. But for the Master in Management, it's just a general master in management. So you're not going to specialize in going to do something different. So you're not going to be, MSM does not have a master in supply chain or a master in marketing. It really is a master in management. Okay, so I've just sent the link for the two curriculums. Regarding the recording, of course, as far as I know, Nuffic Neso are busy recording this, and they will definitely be sharing this with you guys. So you'll be getting an email, and I think Julia might follow up as well. So
I think he was asking also if he could choose different background from his previous education.
Oh yes, that's also a very question. So some students wonder whether they need to have a finance or economic background to be able to do a master in management or MBA. And for MSM, the answer is no. In fact, we want as many different backgrounds as possible. We want as many different nationalities as possible, and we want as many different backgrounds. And the reason is, in our logic, management is everywhere. If you're in a research lab, or if you're in supply chain, or if you're an astronaut, management still exists. So it doesn't matter what your degree was in the past, you still can learn something about management. So you don't need to have a background, a bachelor in economics. So we have students that have studied engineer or in information technology, or we have students that studied social anthropology.
Doctor also.
Sorry?
The doctor.
Doctors, yes, we've got 2 dentists as well. We have people that studied psychology and legal. So yes, we actually want as many different backgrounds in the group, so that when you're actually working in teams, the team experience is much richer as well than just having a group of engineers working together on one problem. Are we going to share this link on our social media platform? Oh, sorry, that's Nisa that's answering, I think. Okay. I see there are more people writing. Okay, well, thank you very much, Sarah. What's this about the amounts? Let me check here. Can we apply for the Holland Scholarship amounts? Okay, no, if you get the Orange Tulip Scholarship, you cannot go higher than that. Like I said, scholarships already go to normal MSM scholarships, go maximum 50%, but the only exception is the Orange Tulip Scholarship. And that's really important. So automatically you will get the Dean's Development Fund, and then you can consider the early bird discount till 1st of May, and then obviously the Orange Tulip Scholarship. And the other ones like the Academic Excellence or Women in Leadership, or the Women Ambassadorship, or an Entrepreneurship Scholarship, or if you're working for an NGO, those are other scholarships that you can apply for. And all of that is available. The details, the criteria, the eligibility is available on our website. Okay. Well, I think that's everything from our side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if anyone does have any more questions. I saw that Fadhilah shared her Instagram contacts with you as well. Julia has several times already sent her email address, but you can definitely chat with her again. I'll just reconfirm it here for everyone. And like that, if anyone has any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. We're here to help you to make this process go as smoothly as possible for you. And hopefully you can still make it in time for the Orange Tulip Scholarship this year. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hermina, Fadhilah, and also Julia. That is so good presentation. And also, well, the deadline of Orange Tulip Scholarship actually is not far, right? But still, Indonesian students still have time to apply. So and when I heard about the how quick the process, so basically again, you still have time, guys, to apply to the Maastricht School of Management and also to apply for the Orange Tulip Scholarship. So once again, thank you
Exactly.
so much, and it's lovely to see you all. Hopefully, we can see each other again, right? Okay.
Definitely. We'll do this again.
Okay, cool. So have a good day for all of you in the Netherlands because now it's 9 p.m. in Indonesia.
Okay. Well, sleep well, everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much. Dan
Thank
juga
you.
bagi Sobat Neso, terima kasih banyak sudah hadir di acara webinar studi di Maastricht School School of Management. Kita akan melanjutkan beberapa webinar, pastinya akan ada jadwal webinar selanjutnya di sosial media kami dan juga di website kami. Apabila teman-teman ingin melihat lagi webinar ini, jangan khawatir karena langsung setelah selesai webinar ini akan saya upload video ini di YouTube dan juga link akan ada di semua sosial media yang tadi sudah saya sebutkan ya. Kalau misalnya masih belum jelas akan saya tampilkan sekali lagi. Nah, ini merupakan informasi baik sosial media ataupun semua kontak yang bisa teman-teman hubungi untuk berhubungan dengan Nuffic Neso Indonesia ataupun tadi terlewat dengan email dari Hermina atau emailnya Fadhilah atau email Julia, kalian bisa kontak Nuffic Neso Indonesia dan kami akan senang hati untuk men-share informasi tersebut. Baiklah, kalau begitu kita sudahi dulu webinar ini. So we are going to end this webinar. So once again, thank you so much for your attention and also your participation. So we'll see you again on the next webinar schedule. Have a good day and also have a good evening for Indonesian students. Bye.
Bye-bye.